Oh my goodness, my heart is pounding because now it's time to create peace, create something new for the new year, and also fasten our seatbelts because we're going to learn how to create a new healthy habit that incorporates meditation with Jason Stevenson. This is why I was trying to control myself because he's on. So I know that we're about to get started. So we're going to get muted. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and viewing friends. I'm so excited to meet you in the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who've been tuning in for the last almost 8 years, or just yesterday, I am so grateful for you for tuning back in. But if you just stumbled upon the show, let me tell you, this is your lucky day. I've been waiting for you. And so that you know, this is a safe place you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal. And it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, how many of you have wished that you could meditate on a regular basis? I do. And for some reason, it just doesn't happen for me. We get caught up in our busyness and our multitasking, or maybe I should say my multitasking, and maybe just talk about me and how I would love to do this. But then we forget that all we need is like maybe a minute, 5 minutes, and we don't even give that to ourselves. Well, today is the day we stop the madness and we start to focus on what truly matters. We can do a lot of things for our body. We can work out and we can be great at work and have high career paying positions and all of that. But if you don't connect with your spirit, if you don't connect with that mind-gut connection, then, perhaps maybe that's when depression sets in and anxiety and all these other things that happen. But we're very fortunate because it's Monday, Meditation Monday. So I am just excited because we get to learn from the Jason Stevenson. You can find him at jasonstevenson.net. You can also be one of his many million followers on YouTube that love to fall asleep with him. And I'm one of them that gets encouraged and empowered and all that by Jason. And so since it is our sole purpose in life, I'm just bringing someone that is just an absolute expert on meditation. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Jason is here to do just that. Welcome, Jason, to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
Wow. Thank you very much, Lillian. Of course, it's an honor to be here. And what a big rap that is. How am I going to measure up to that?
Well, you do a very good job. You hold your own. I am, from the first moment you said hello to me, I was just like in awe. I was excited that you were on the show, not only as an expert with meditation and relaxation, but you were also human and real and
absolutely.
spiritual.
And always. student.
Yes.
Always.
Share a little bit about your background and what got you started in meditation and relaxation exercises.
Okay, I come from Australia, if you don't already know, and
I thought you were from South Georgia, Alabama. Okay.
people have said that before, actually, believe it or not. Yes, yes.
Okay.
No, but overall, I've had an absolutely beautiful life. I did, however, sometime in my late 20s, early 30s, I went off the rails and, started to use drugs a little bit more and, kind of a lot more. And, things just took a bad turn. And so then through all that, I began to suffer with a lot of anxiety, some panic attacks, and even going down into depression, and my health was really shot to pieces. And I began to meditate. I went to a 10-day monastic retreat, and that for me was the pivotal point where it became life-changing. And I began for the first time in a long time to have some real amazing peace of mind and calmness. And so I wanted to then give back to the world. And so here I am, and through my YouTube channel now, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. And, through that time, because I want people to understand that you're very transparent and you are very clear with, the fact that your life has led you in many paths. You also deal with an illness, and you've shared and you've talked about it on the show. Would you like to share a little bit about that too?
Yeah. Through the mess of absolutely not looking after myself and not taking care of myself at all, I am back in 15 years ago now, I was diagnosed HIV positive. Mm-hmm. And so it took it was a major curveball for me. And it was either sink or swim. It was either continue on the path I was going on or change. And so I decided to change.
And I believe that change is a-coming. We always make change a priority and embrace it. And it's amazing when we do that, what opportunities flow to us. And we're going to continue our conversation with Jason Stevenson when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
We could talk during that time. So here's the thing. A lot of people think when things are perfect, that's when I can meditate. Mm. And what I love about your story, and of course, I am always saddened when anybody learns from their past in a way that changes everything about their life. And in your situation, I'm sure that was like a screeching from a record, kind of like stop. And when you could have said, I'm going to continue to, sabotage myself, or I want to die, but you have turned your life around and you have stayed very centered. And so any tips for that while we're off the air, any tips for our viewers watching on Facebook or YouTube?
I think the spiritual aspect of it, of really, waking up every day with gratitude and connecting to a higher source, no matter what you believe in, and even if that's only, the universe at large or humanity at large. Mm-hmm. But that for me is imperative, that I'm just a part of all of this and connected, and I feel connected. And this is what has got me through so much of this, Lily. And just to feel the love and sense the love.
And there's always hope. And there's always hope because, you know, with healthy nutrition and with a healthier lifestyle and with, you know, supplementation, there's so much that you can do that's beyond whatever diagnosis. You know, what I've learned on the show is that our bodies speak to us, and our bodies speak to us what our symptoms, but then the doctors turn it around and give it a diagnosis. And once you get that diagnosis, you almost feel powerless. But you're not. You can take your power back anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I'm sure you're aware of, you know, that turning the HIV I turned into living here in vitality. That affirmation for me changed the way I looked at things. Man, that's got me through as well.
You've got me like, I'm speechless right now. That's great. You know, and for people that are watching you who have diagnosis that feel that, you know, that right there, they were anxious when they received the diagnosis, and now that's given them even more of a reason to continue with the anxiety and depression. Do you feel that with meditation they can turn that around?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. But it does take continued practice, because even life gets in the way every day. And so, you know, I need to keep meditating all the time, because if I don't meditate at all, I will go into a bundle of nerves again. So
yeah. And so you know what your body needs. And because you know what your body needs, you're giving it. And so today, fortunately enough, we're talking about how to create healthy habits for meditation, and so that we can de-stress our life and live intentional lives as well. And I see that we're ready to get back on the air. And so, Mr. Jason, you ready to dance some more with me? This is the first time you hear my what do you call it? Oh, my intro music. You know, I got bumped in the head, so I forget things a little. And so yes. So get ready to hear the intro and dance with me. I loved it. You were like, you caught on really quick. It's time to dance.
When you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow together. Today's teacher is Jason Stevenson. You've probably heard of him. If you ever want to look up meditation on YouTube, guess who's going to pop up? Mr. Jason Stevenson. So I encourage you to not just walk, to run while you're meditating, but to just go and check him out, because his voice is soothing. And, you know, the first time Jason was on the show, we talked about how the voice that was so beautiful to sing with is now being used to calm people in a different way. And so I'm just always excited when Jason Stevenson's on to talk on Meditation Monday. But since we're developing new habits, whether it's the beginning of the year, the middle, or the end, we're developing new habits that will take us through our life, whether you're healthy or where you're struggling or anxious or depressed. Jason Stevenson is here to give us some tips on how to create a healthy habit when it comes to meditation. Thank you so much, Jason. I know this is like, you're such a busy guy and you're taking time out of your busy schedule for the Lillian McDermott Radio Show and my friends.
Oh, of course. You're most welcome. It's actually, I'm beginning to look forward to these sessions all the time. So it's great. It's beautiful.
You're so cute. Okay. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, you will agree with me. Okay. So let's start from the very beginning, because, you know, people do have busy lives. And when I say people do have busy lives, I mean, I have a busy life, and I sometimes get out of bed and my phone is right by, the toilet, and I'm just going to grab it while I'm going. And I'm just like, okay, no, I need to do something. I need to set myself up for success. So let's find out, how did you start the process of setting yourself up for success?
For success, or for meditation, or for?
Yeah, so successful meditation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've got some tips to share with you,
Yeah.
Lillian, and for the listeners too. And you know, there's many habits that we can develop that help us get into the practice and to maintain the practice.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first ones I would strongly suggest before you even begin is to let go of expectations of what meditation is going to give you. Now, I understand that, you know, that we all go in to meditation wanting something out of it, and that's natural. However, the thing of having these giant expectations, especially if you just do one session and think, okay, I'm going to meditate now, and I expect everything is going to be nice and calm, and, you know, it just doesn't work that way, and it takes practice like anything else. So it's like, you know, if you go to the gym to pump weights, you're not going to walk out of there the first time expecting you to have giant muscles. So really, just if you can let go of expectations and just be in the session, and the benefits of meditation will unfold over time. And not only for you, but you might even have people that you know saying something about you, like, oh, wow, there's something changed within you. You know, you might be feeling calmer, and other people will pick it up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you just do the session and allow it to unfold as it will.
You know, it's funny how you were saying eliminate expectations. And I don't know if in Australia you have watched the series, the comedy series called Seinfeld. Did you guys ever watch Seinfeld?
It's been big in Australia, but would you believe I've never watched it?
I don't believe, I don't doubt it. But one of the characters was George Costanza. He had a father made by Ben Stiller. And there was a comedy group called Stiller and Mira, or Mira and Stiller. I can't remember his first name, but there was a scene that he was like getting, like, the father of George Costanza was getting like really anxious. And so they, because of anger management, they forced him to go into like meditation and these self-help groups. And so, the guy, because he was like very out vocal, and so his form of meditation, he was told that he was needed to say serenity now, and to ask for serenity now. And so the way he would do it was serenity now, and he would scream it out, and it was so fun. So as you were talking about that, he would like yell this serenity now, and I as you were saying that, I just had that little flashback. Sorry, I digress. But anyway, so letting go of expectations. His expectation was that he would have serenity when he would yell it. So when it comes to this letting go of expectations, we often see people with these beautiful poses, looking so angelic, and I'm like falling asleep. I'm ready to like fall off the chair. So what about those expectations, and how one should look when you are meditating?
It's so true. And I mean, people think, that they might come into meditation, that you have to be in the lotus position. There's so many things, but it's totally up to you. And if you want to lie down, or if you want to sit up, and you can be anywhere during meditation anyway, if you want to practice mindfulness meditation. But I think, there is a formal practice, a time of sitting, if you want to call it that, okay. Sitting practice. And that helps with the active meditation when you go about your life. But we need that.
Let's try to visualize. I know the people that are watching us don't need that, but help us in our mind's eye. What is that sitting ritual that we need to go through? I mean, I see dogs go around 3 times before they like relax. What is the kind of ritual that we can go to before we practice our? Now there's a sitting practice, so.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
That can be just you can simply do that on a chair. You can do it cross-legged on the floor on a cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people though can't sit up due to back problems and that is fine, and that can be done just lying down, palms of hand facing up, and connecting to your breath. Just breathing, becoming aware of your breath, and sending that breath all the way down to the diaphragm area, filling it up, being aware of the sensations of the breath expanding and contracting, just being present and accepting all that is, whether that be everything that's going on in that moment. And that includes thoughts coming and going. That includes any sounds or distractions that you might hear. And you see, when we begin to accept what's going on outside, if there's any sounds and distractions, if you're going to be angry about it, then it's really just defeating the purpose. So accepting it totally, whatever's going on in this present moment.
Very nice. Okay, so you're talking about the lotus pose, but I usually strike the lily pose.
I love it.
Usually falling off the chair. Okay, so as we're letting go of expectations and saying to ourselves, it's okay if there's noise, because I've often walked in to people who are meditating and they don't hear me, but there are other people that I might walk into, and that distraction drives them to say serenity now. So one of those things is that we just need to develop the knowing that there's going to be like little trials, little steps, and that little by little we'll get used to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And with the noise and distractions, it's also really good training, because if we go in all the time expecting silence, and as you said, there's distractions that are going to come up all the time. If we begin to just accept them and to listen to them, and that they're a part of where you are at this given point in time, it will make our session just so much easier, rather than trying to fight the distractions, fight the noises, fight, wanting that peace. Damn, I can't meditate, because of what's going on.
Yeah.
Embrace the sounds.
And embrace the sounds in a way that they become rhythmic, or embrace the sounds in a way that they become a part of our meditation?
I think embrace the sounds that they become a part of the meditation. They are just happening with what's going on at this present moment. And I think that's what meditation is about. It's about an awareness and acceptance without judgment of whatever is happening right here, right now.
Okay. So as we hear the sound and we're in the focus, because last time, I think that's when I said that when I think of the breathing through the diaphragm, and you had mentioned the rib cage expanding, it was almost like an accordion, where you see that accordion expand and then come in, and that's more the type of breathing that you're talking about. And if there's any noise that you hear, then just say that's okay, and just focus on the breathing and just shift your focus, right?
Yeah, and it's just like the noise is almost the same as a thought, as a passing thought. When we think thoughts, it's the same thing that applies. It's just to accept that thought passing by, almost like a cloud in a blue sky. So it can be a distraction if you allow it to be a distraction, or it can be what is.
Yes.
If you allow it to be what is.
Okay. So I have great intention. I really want to meditate. Something keeps me from that. Like maybe I like to journal, or I like to, walk on the beach. Are there different kinds of meditations, Jason?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I would say that do your best, though, to try and commit at least to 5 minutes a day of the sitting meditation, and you can call that, if you like, your practice.
Okay.
But then what you can do is take that form of mindfulness and bring that into whatever you do on a daily basis, whether that be, if you're out walking in nature, even if you're running. I remember doing a running meditation album with a lot of other artists.
Really?
running is a beautiful way of meditating because you're getting in alignment with the heartbeat, with the cadence, the footsteps, and so you can do meditation to washing dishes, cleaning the house.
Ooh.
Everything can become a meditation if you like.
Very good. Very good. So when you are cleaning the house, you need to be aware, because when I think of meditation, I think of nothing in the brain, but that's not real. That's an expectation. That's not real, right?
I remember I went to this, I told you I went to this Buddhist monastic retreat, and one of the jobs they gave me was to have a toothbrush and a bucket of water, and they said I was to clean the miles of railings. And at first I thought, what are they talking about? And I resisted. There was a lot of resistance going on. But once I got into that mindfulness of cleaning this intricate railing, it became an amazing experience of in 4 or 5 hours of just using this tiny little toothbrush.
And it's time to start cleaning out our closets and cleaning out your cars, using cleanliness as meditation. And we're going to continue speaking with my beautiful friend, Jason Stevenson. When we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com, we'll be right here waiting for you. Time to dance, Jason.
I'll be right here waiting for you.
Okay. I don't even know if I think. Okay. Sorry, Robert, I forgot. And he trusted that I was going to be speaking while I was being recorded here. Well, Jason, this is really good. I remember when I was a long time ago that when people weren't having fun at doing something, a chore or anything like that, I remember this class I was taking on parenting. We used to do a parenting co-op where all the parents would teach their children, and we would take like once a week we would teach, and then the rest of the week we were off and other parents were teaching. But we had to take a class at night, and at night this was to improve our parenting skills and learn and grow and all of that. And so I remember the topic was, embracing the things you don't like, and how do you create the things you don't want to do, and and it was about changing perspective. Even back then, that was like 30 some, I'm having a memory from like 20, 30 years ago. And I remember they were saying, if there's something you don't like, pretend like you're playing a game with it. Like if you're cleaning, if you're doing a chore, and let's say mopping the floor, just pretend like you have like sponges on your feet, and those sponges are like rollerblades or roller skates, and you're just gliding along and doing all this stuff. So with meditation, does that take on a new life in itself? It's almost like this psyching of yourself of, this is something I really want to do, whether it's a chore or not a chore for some people that can't sit still. So let's talk about that.
That saying comes to my mind there, that fake it to make it.
Yeah.
When we begin to, and it's even the same with even laughter and having fun. If someone starts laughing, it's contagious, and we just pick it up and we run with it, and we can start laughing. Same with yawning.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing. So yeah, with meditation, it's I think it's finding the joy in it and not setting these rules and boundaries. There's enough rules out there in life. There's so many rules and regulations. We need to just stop and just enjoy and just be.
I like that. There's not many things. Go ahead.
Can I even say, drop the word, and I think I might have said this before, but drop the word even meditation itself, and just be. Yeah.
Drop the word. I thought you were going to drop a word. Thought you were going to drop the F-bomb or something. I was going to go, oh! So I was anticipating. I had an expectation. What are you going to say next, Jason Stevenson?
Not the place for it.
No, not at all. I'm sure you never do that. But
No, I'll never.
but you talk about fake it till you make it. So I created a new idea, and I even did a meme for it. And it's called think it till you feel it, and then do it. First it's a thought, then it's a feeling. But this fake it till you make it, that's what gets us in trouble. And I'm not saying anything about that, because that is a saying that we've learned since we were kids.
Yeah.
That's what I am so passionate about this show. We have been taught and indoctrinated to just not be real with ourselves, to fake it till we make it. And that's perfectly acceptable. Fake it till we feel it, and then do it.
I love it. I love what you just said then. And when you say and then do it, it's actually almost like you don't have to do anything then. You see, once you think it and then you feel it, it kind of manifests. It becomes a part of your reality.
That's right. And you know what? When I did first create the meme, I just wanted to do, think it till you feel it. The world says fake it till you make it, but I say think it, till you, think it until you feel it.
Love it.
And then someone else said, no, but you got to have the action, which is do it. But you're absolutely right. You don't. If you think it, you feel it. It's going to come.
Absolutely. The rest will follow.
It does. Okay. So I see that we're ready to go back on the air. So it's time to go back. And this is the third segment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the website, and then we're going to go into the stages of the steps of meditation. Okay. Here we go.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where we are heard worldwide. Even in Australia, you can listen live at whenyouneedafriend.com. And I am the host, Lillian McDermott, and it is my goal that we always learn from each other, go through life with childlike wonder. And today's teacher, because we can learn something from everybody that you meet, but we just happen to have an expert on meditation on this Meditation Monday. And it's wonderful to have Jason Stevenson. And during our off-the-air conversations, I just love my one-on-one time with him. And you too can be a part of that by going to whenyouneedafriend.com and clicking on my YouTube video or checking out my video on Facebook. There's so many different ways that this is where we come together and take 100% ownership of our life. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com, become a subscriber. And when you do that, you get the show sent to you, the audio. But if you want the video, then click on the button that's the YouTube video, subscribe there, and then click on to all my social medias, follow me, like me, do whatever so that we can grow the show. Not a lot of people are talking about these topics, which are all about how to live the life of your dreams, mind, body, and spirit. We don't do politics. We don't do sports. So that's somebody else who does a much better job than me. But I just want to encourage you that to continue this conversation off the air and into your personal life. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com, and then without my sponsors, this show would not happen. So make sure you check out my sponsors and support them the way they are supporting the show. And so today we are talking to Jason Stevenson, and we're getting ready, whether it's the beginning of the year and you have a New Year's awareness, which some people call resolutions that don't work. Only 8% keep those resolutions. We need to set ourselves up for success. And if you've desired, like I have always desired, to meditate And like Jason Stevenson said, give yourself that at least 5 minutes of the traditional meditation, which is just breathing, just being. And I love you, Jason, for what you add, the dimension of bringing this new truth about meditation. Did it take you a long time to fall into this routine or embrace the routine, not just fall into it, but embrace it?
Yeah, definitely, Lily. I would say that when I first started meditation, it was very, very spasmodic. I committed myself to a large chunk of time, and then it sort of just faded away. But it's over the last so many years now, probably the last 5 years now, that I've realized the real value of it and how important it is to my life. And so now I'm into a routine. Most nights I do it. However, I'm beginning to do it in the morning time too now. In fact, I've been listening to someone else, not my meditations, listening to a gentleman by the name of Mark Allen, who's written some beautiful books, I might add. And I've been listening to his meditations in the morning. They're only short, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm really getting into it. I'm really, every day, more and more, I'm loving it and love listening to all different people.
This is what I love about you. You could say, I'm the guy that you need to listen to, but the guy who we listen to is listening to somebody else too. So that's so beautiful about you. That's why I think you're so genuine, and I really enjoy learning with you, Jason. Okay, so morning, nighttime, when can we meditate? What's your tip on meditation?
Look, most of the experts say that morning time is best, and that does make sense to me when I hear that. I get that. Mm-hmm. However, for me, my main commitment is night times, and it's just before bed, because I was going through a rough stage of where I couldn't sleep. And so I found that doing the meditation at a night time for me was a way to unwind and to go to sleep with a calm mind and to let go. I think here's the thing. The most important thing is whatever time you do it in, whether it be lunchtime, morning time, nighttime, wherever, commit to it. Do your best to stick to that time. And if you can, do your best to stick to that environment of where you're doing it, because then what happens is you almost then begin to slip into, as soon as you sit or as soon as you're placed in that environment, you begin to fall into a state, a calm state, almost before you even begin the meditation. So I think the time and the environment, if you can commit to that, it will make this practice so much easier. Very
good. As you were saying that, now I know when I brush my teeth, I get sleepy. At nighttime when I brush my teeth, I get sleepy. It's almost like a routine. I know that this is my nighttime routine. And so what you're saying is add it to, but I'm a morning girl, and I love to do it with my meditation, my breathing, or whatever it is that I do in the morning. If I don't do it, I just kind of go, gosh, it's like my day just slips away. But if I just spend that time in the morning, my rest of the day seems like it just works well. I don't know if that's psychological, or maybe I'm bashing myself up, which is one of your tips, not to do that. To not bash yourself up.
I think you're absolutely spot on there. And the beautiful thing about the morning time too is you can begin to, set your intention for the day. You're starting the day off in a beautiful way, rather than jumping out of bed frantic, which so many of us do, quickly, if we can just begin to do that. And as I said, I'm beginning to do that more and more, and I'm loving it. Absolutely.
And then in the evening, I love what you're saying. So there's really it's whatever works for you. And maybe my husband's been doing an evening meditation, but then he reads. He doesn't fall asleep. So do you do your meditation and then go to sleep? That's the last thing you do?
Can I tell you, sometimes I do that, but other times I do my meditation whilst I've got some awareness about me. And then I actually can fall asleep listening to audiobooks. I love that too.
So how do you listen to your books? Do you have anything in your ear?
No. I've just had the phones over there to the side, and I can set it for, a particular chapter, and then it stops. it stops playing.
I love that.
Uh,
I'm going to try that, Jason. That's a great tip.
and so can I just, while I'm talking about the audiobooks, I've just written this down here and I'm going to find the Mark Allen book called The Magical Path. And why I like that audiobook is he has countless meditations within the book itself.
Ah,
So
so
I hope I can.
it's an audio book.
Yes. And it's Mark Allen speaking, and he's just an amazing teacher.
Is
Amazing.
he from Australia as well?
No, I think he's US based, and it's Mark with the MARC,
Okay.
Allen, ALLEN.
I'm going to look him up.
He is, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's called The Magical Path.
The Magical Path. And when you say it, it just sounds so beautiful. Magical Path. Okay, so let's go. You see how easy I can get distracted, Jason? Just with the word path. Okay, so how about you I was looking at some of the tips that you were suggesting. And so I'm going to say that this is one of the things that you suggest, which is to take a meditation class. And I did that one time and I would fall asleep in the class. And it was while the professor was talking, which wasn't good. And so how do you suggest that we attend a class? Are there like webinars or a book, audio? How do you suggest that?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things online now that you can do these live meditation sessions. I've even got one myself on my Life Expansion channel.
Okay, let's talk about your Life Expansion channel.
Yeah. This channel is really all about growing, coming along for my growth journey as well. All I'm doing is sharing my growth journey on a weekly basis. And I love it because I love learning and I love sharing what I learn. And so it's almost like people are just coming along for the ride with me. So we're all, as you talked about, we're learning and we're growing together.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Very good. Very good. Anything else that when it comes to learning about meditation, is there any tip that you can give for that one?
But I would dare say that if you've got the opportunity to find a local class in your area that you can commit to for 7 or 8 weeks, I know they do one here at the local temple, and when you commit to that, and you might pay a fee for that, it's like you know that you're going there for that formal practice once a week, and you're getting to share that experience as well with the other people around too. So you're not just doing it there on your own, and you can share experiences, and you can sometimes, you can sense the ambience of the room when so many people are meditating. It's a beautiful thing.
Very good. Very good. So that's a great tip to, there's strength in numbers. And when you have like-minded people that are in your life that are doing meditations or whatever that is, you're one to keep it a little bit longer. And so that's a great tip. So today we are talking with Jason Stevenson, and you can find him on YouTube. You can find him at Life Extension channel. You can find him at jasonstevenson.net, and you can get the version of meditations as well, or you can listen to him free at YouTube, whichever one you want to grow. You want to keep growing with him. And we're going to continue our conversation as we grow with Jason Stevenson worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Here we go. We can dance a little bit before we get muted. Oh, we're going to do some exercises.
I'll be right here waiting for you.
Okay, so now I want to, like this break right here, I want to mention my sponsors that are my sponsors for my my social media channel. I just want to talk about I've got Liberty Health Share, And of course, you want to go to libertyhealthshare.org. You want to go to Keep Me Safe Organics. If you want makeup that has zero toxicity and is all natural, it's what I use. And I hope that you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and check them out and click on the icon and save 10%, enter Lily 10, and you save 10% of your entire products. And of course, there's also First Alternative Care, $35 a month for telemedicine wherever you live for the entire household. Come on. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com, check out my sponsors. Again, the way they are supporting the show, let's support them. And of course, locally in Brevard County, the pharmacy, love Ross Clark and the family that's there at the pharmacy. So today we're talking about meditation, Jason, and I want to talk about silence when we go back from the break, because I remember going on a meditation, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I'm very shy. People don't know this about me. And I can stand in front of a lot of people. I hated being shy. And so I worked on that. That was a muscle that I worked on as a kid, as an adult, because I was shy until I became an adult. And then that's when I started exercising the muscle, saying, I don't want this anymore, and started growing. But there was a lot of noise in my life, a lot of noise, music or chatter or on the phone or whatever. And I remember going on a retreat. And that retreat, I was anxious about a bunch of strangers that I didn't know, because I always felt this need to entertain. I don't know what it was. I don't know where it comes from. And I remember feeling like I was going to need to get out of my comfort zone and entertain all these strangers that I didn't know. But part of being there was a silent retreat. That was the beginning of our retreat. Jason, I have never been so relieved. I've never done a silent retreat. And then the next morning, because it took away the pressure to have to entertain. And the next morning when I sat on my chair, there was a sign that said, "It is in the silence that we hear God speak." Now I take that a little bit further now that my spirituality is a little different. And I say that's when we hear our intuition. That's when we hear our creator. That's when we hear whoever it is that you identify as a higher power. So can you share a little bit about the silence? And I do want to take that into the air when we get into our last segment.
Yeah, it's interesting that you had that sense of relief, straight away. Because can I tell you, when I first had my first monastic retreat, which was 10 days silence, the first 2 or 3 days for me, a lot of stuff surfaced for me, and I was actually not very happy. I tell you, I found it very, very difficult for the first 3 days. And probably because there was so much noise and this stopping, and a lot of emotions come up for me. But by about the 4th, 5th day, and then it kicked in, and then it was heaven.
I would love that. When's the last time you did a silent retreat?
Wow, the last time I did a silent retreat was probably, I'd say 3 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go on one.
I want to go on a bigger one again, like a 10-day one or something. I only do my moments of silence now. I go in float tanks, for 1 hour, and they're the ultimate 1 hour meditation sessions of silence.
Wow. Do you hear yourself speaking when you're doing that? Do they have any audios? It's just silent.
Sometimes I go for 15 minutes of music and then 45 minutes of silence just to bring me down. But no, I love just pure silence. Yeah.
I think that there's not enough silence in people's lives. There's too much noise. And, as we've just gotten over the holidays, and, I wrote an article called Don't Let the Grinch Steal Your Christmas. I don't know if you've ever seen The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the 1966 classic. I wrote an article about that in the traditions and how the Grinch wanted to steal and hated all the noise. The noise was commercialism. But in this situation, the noise could be our comfort zone, the fear. Our noise could be, not wanting to deal with past hurts or not wanting to deal with. And so you have these voices in your head, or these voices or the noises or the phone call or the texting or the surfing, so you don't have to deal with it. Is the silence harder now to achieve than it was when we were younger?
I think that's a possibility. And it's interesting you just said that about, because there's so much noise going on. And this was when I go back to that 10-day retreat, I had so much noise in my life. Mm-hmm. In fact, they recommended that I do a 2-day retreat to start with. They said, we think this is out of your, and I said, no. I want to, if I'm doing it,
I'm jumping all in, serenity now. Yeah.
And so I think that that's what was so difficult for me, because there was so much noise, so much thought processes, that when it was silence, it was quite painful for me. It brought up a lot of stuff. So I dare say I would really suggest people maybe do it for a couple of days, silence, because even social media, Facebook and YouTube, and there's just so much noise, so much marketing, so much of everything. And it's a rare thing to get this silence.
Yes.
And
so
for the mind.
Yeah. Let's talk about that when we go back on the air. I see that we are getting ready to start. And I also want to talk about, maybe I want to announce that you're going to do another meditation for us. Can you do the I am meditation, or something to start replacing those voices in our head? So is that okay?
Some affirmations, short affirmations or something.
Yeah. Okay. So, of course, I'm so sorry to ask you while we're being recorded. I usually do that off the air, but I'm not doing that. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so here we go. I see that we're ready to get started.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where I am loving my time with Jason Stevenson. I'm sure that you are too. You can always find him at jasonstevenson.net. You can find him all over Facebook, YouTube. He has this new channel called Life Expansions. And so it is time for us to, whether it's the beginning of the year, the middle, or the end, it is time to reclaim our sanity, to reclaim our peace, to reconnect with that inner voice, that inner spirit within us that we are avoiding. While we were off the air, Jason and I started talking about the silence. Jason sent me a list of things that he recommends for when it comes to meditation. It's his formula for success. And so we've been talking about it without even saying, this is step 1, this is step 2. We've just been talking about it, actually. And silence is important. And I shared a story about silence for Jason, and you can go to YouTube, my YouTube channel at whenyouneedafriend.com to learn more and listen to this conversation off the air. But Jason, let's talk about the silence, the noise that we create, the busyness that we create when we are trying to avoid past hurts, traumas, perceptions, insecurities, shyness, all those different things that we create to avoid silence.
It's really interesting too, Lily, that you talk about this too, because many people too that come on to do meditations, they get sometimes even anger surfaces, and they'll leave comments on my YouTube channel, and they'll say things like, "Oh, all that come up for me was all this, and this meditation just made me angry." Or this meditation just made me this. And so people begin to blame the actual, my meditation, almost like wanting to point it at me, that it's there.
Of course it is, Jason. Don't you know it's your fault? It's written down that it's Jason Stevenson's fault if you can't meditate properly, because it's your job to teach us. What's up with that? Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was just, a little bit of anger just came out of me.
Got to blame someone. But
I got to protect my friend.
But it's what's happening is when we begin to just quieten our mind, that is the time when, all these thoughts and all these sometimes buried emotions, even sadness. And I see that so many times of people saying, all I did in this meditation was cry.
Mm.
Because it's when we begin to really still the mind, we're allowing whatever's inside to come forward.
So what do you suggest?
Well, I suggest that we begin to take, responsibility for that and accept if the tears are going to fall, allow them to fall, and don't even try to hold back. And if you're going to sob. It's actually a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to be afraid of. It's a beautiful thing. I think sometimes people call it emotional release during meditation, but I think the thing is simply to accept whatever comes by in our thoughts or our emotions. And they will go just like, the waves come and go on the ocean. You're not going to cry forever, or the anger's not going to surface and be there forever. If we just see it and grab hold of it and not try and fight it off, but just accept that, and it will dissipate and fall back at its own accord.
So
that's a part of the process.
Yes. And so as you were speaking, I don't know what it is about you, Jason. Whenever you speak, I go into this trance. So when you were talking about your tears falling, I had this image of, water planting, watering seeds. And as you are, the tears water the seed of your soul. And you're able to allow that to expand a little bit more. So as you were saying that, I'm just seeing these tears as being cleansing. And then that there's that not crying forever. You said, well, you're not going to cry forever. But the reality is, because we don't want to cry forever, we think that we have to turn off the waterworks. It's almost like when you have a flood in your toilet and you turn it off, right? So that no water comes out. But then what happens? It dries up. And that is like very symbolic. Like if you flush the toilet once, that water is gone and there's nothing there. You have to allow that water to go through. You have to open the little spigot so that the water will fill up the tank, and so that it would continue to flow the way that it's supposed to flow. So I am just saying that the imagery that I get is that if we don't allow ourselves to emote and we dry up that tank, then we will be dry forever. And it will almost be there, and we won't be able to experience the richness of those peaks and valleys that we have in our life. Can you add to that?
Isn't it interesting that when you see on these TV shows, someone starts crying, they instantly hand them a handkerchief or tissue, almost like a symbol to like stop. It's okay, you can stop now. Here's the tissue. You can cease crying now. And I just say, allow it to flow. And I love your symbol of, the tears falling and nurturing the soul and the ground. And just let it all go and be, and it's okay.
So it is in the silence. And I had mentioned to you that little sign that I saw that, it is in the silence that we hear God speak. But when we are in the noise, the opposite side of that, when we're in the noise, who is that voice in our head? Who is speaking in our head? Is it a bad relationship? Is it a trauma that we're trying to keep at bay, that we're carrying with us everywhere we go? So let's talk about how, if we were to allow that to just emerge, the silence, and see what brings up, can you, like the goldsmith, the heat brings up the impurities in the gold, and the goldsmith scrapes off the impurities until they can see the reflection of themselves looking back. So as you were talking off the air about your 10-day retreat and how the first 4 days you were like, all this stuff started coming to the surface. Can you share a little bit about that and how we can encourage someone to say, hey, endure it, let it go, allow
goodness. It. Yeah. I can remember the first few days of being so angry. So much anger surfaced for me. In fact, it was so much that I wanted to quit the retreat. I really wanted to get out of it. But I remember them saying that once you start, you won't be able to stop. You must keep going. Mm-hmm. And something inside was saying, okay, just keep going. But it wasn't a very pleasant time, my first 3 days of this monastic retreat. Just so many, like I was thinking, why are they putting all these rules in place? And why are they telling us to do? I was fighting off everything. And then all of a sudden, and maybe it was one morning, I woke up and I remember seeing we had to wake up really early, like 4:30 every morning. We begin meditation practice. And that was another thing that frustrated me. There was just so much that frustrated me.
Yeah.
But in the end, sorry about that truck that just went past. In the end, after 3 to 4 days, my mind started to calm and soften, and I began to catch myself just being in the moment and being aware of whatever was going on. And I'm like, okay, this is what it's beginning to be all about. I'm so glad I stuck around. And I began to just, wherever I was standing, whatever I was doing, I was finding that peace in the moment. And that continued on with me for the rest of the retreat and well beyond whenever I was at work. It was amazing. I worked with people with disabilities, and what I used to find that would irritate me, and now I was just aware of what was going on, but I wasn't trying to change it. I was just allowing it to be and to unfold, and it was such a glorious state to be in, to not fight against anything.
Well, I am telling you, we could talk for hours and hours. And for those of you who love Jason Stevenson, we're going to have a special I Am positive affirmation after the show, so you can check it out on the YouTube channel. But for now, Jason, I'm looking forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you so much, Lily. I really appreciate it, and it's such a pleasure to speak with you. It really is.
And it's our pleasure to listen and be a part of your journey as well. And to you, my listening friend, just please remember, you get peace, love, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Yay. Okay. It's like I'm looking at 10 seconds. Oh my God.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
And we are done with the show. And now we get to experience Jason, I'm really grateful for you because you don't have to do this. I mean, you've got millions of followers and you've got all the stuff that you do, but I'm so honored to be, that you're a friend of the show and that you are sharing your wisdom and helping us grow, and you're doing it without ego. So thank you.
I'm very honored. As I said, I'm truthfully honored. I love speaking with you, and I'm always learning, and I'm learning from you. So,
oh yeah, I'll send you the bill as a life coach.
Anyways,
you'll send me the bill as my meditation coach, and I'll send you the bill as my life coach, and we'll just strip it and say, "This is what friends do, isn't it? Isn't that what friends do?"
Yes.
I'm so grateful to you. Okay, so the other day I was listening to. I needed my Jason fix, and I was listening to your I Am meditation, and what was interesting is. About, I think it was in 2013, around that time frame, I did an I Am meditation. And many of the ways that you do it were very similar to the way I wrote it. Of course, my meditation was like nothing, because I was just learning how to do that, and positive affirmations and rewrite the frames, the all that stuff, rewrite all the programs in my brain. But I loved your I Am meditation. I thought, yes, we have talked about breathing as an exercise, but I thought that as a our next show, I really want to talk about affirmations. That's going to be, but let's dip our toe so that people will be encouraged to, maybe if they can't do a meditation, maybe they can do the I am affirmations.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe they're not ready for the silence. Maybe they're not ready and they want to do something different. Is that good?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
I think we'll make this fairly short, but instead of the silence, we'll use some I am affirmations here. And because I am is such a powerful thing. I am that I am. I am who I am choosing to be.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're thinking, so much negativity and things like that, then that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is let's begin to fill our thoughts just with some beautiful I am affirmations. So let's begin. We can just...
Do you want us to repeat after you, or do you want us just to listen and say it in our head?
I would say that you can mentally repeat them after me, or you can just allow them to sink in and to feel them.
I'm going to sink it in and feeling them.
Feel them and magnify that feeling. Allow it to become a massive part of you.
Okay.
Okay, so we can begin, and just closing your eyes and sitting upright and putting your hands on your lap. And let's begin just as always. We'll just take in 3 deep breaths, and we're going to breathe in through the nose, send that breath all the way down to the belly, the diaphragm area. Feel that belly expand like a piano accordion, Lily's term. And then contract on the breath out. And do this a few times. Really bring yourself into this present moment, because this is all we have right here, right now. And once you've done that, returning your breath back to a comfortable rhythm, in and out through your nose. And I'm going to say these affirmations now, and I just want you to listen to them and allow them to wash over you. If you want to mentally repeat them to yourself, you can. It's totally up to you. But just more than anything, see if you can feel the affirmations. I am filled with gratitude. I am filled with gratitude. I am love. I am love. I am abundance. I am abundance. I am optimistic. I am optimistic. I am wise. I am wise. I am enough. I am enough. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am letting go. I am letting go. I am that I am. I am that I am. And just coming back to your breath now. Taking in a few deep breaths to end this meditation, just breathing in and blowing it out through your mouth, releasing it, letting it go. And welcome home, my friends. Welcome back.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. I always look forward to spending time with you. And just that little, I mean, how much time did we spend? Like a minute? A minute
Yeah.
or two? But I feel so refreshed. I feel like I just woke up from a little nap. And I didn't assume the lily position, which really makes me fall asleep. That's the lily position. And so I am so grateful to you because there's so much that we just don't allow ourselves to experience. It's the turning the cup over to allow blessings to flow into our cup, whatever cup that is. Hopefully our cup is very small, because sometimes people have a vessel that's too big and it takes a long time before whatever fills overflows. And so the goal is to keep it a small little vessel so that we can be poured into and overflow easy. And so that's what happens to me when I listen to you. And I'm so grateful to you from all over the sea, all far away. We are so connected. Isn't it a wonderful technology?
Beautiful. It's like you're here. You're
That's
here.
right. Maybe someday I'll be there. Or maybe someday you'll be here. Because I'll be right here waiting for you, Jason.
I love it.
Now you get the reference. I'll be right here waiting for you. Now that you hear the show theme song. So I want to thank you for watching today, my listening friends. Please like us, share the video. And if you get angry, don't blame me. It's Jason. Jason's the one that made you angry. Not me, because I'm just feel good. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Please share this video and staying to the end of the video. And until the next time, Jason, namaste.
Namaste, and thank you so much. Thank you.
And we're going to say goodbye to our viewing friends. I get to have some time with you now. Here we go.